Hello and happy holidays. Welcome to your Photoshop Creative Challenge. Each week, we help you level up your Photoshop skills. I'm Andrew Hockrattle, and I'm going to be your host, guide, and sleigh ride today as we jump into a fun holiday challenge looking at creating our own snow globe composite. Today, we're going to be covering Generative Extend, a little bit of Generative Fill. We're going to cover some Adobe Express, and we're also going to look at object selection and masking tools to help you kind of level up your compositing skills. It's going to be a fun time, so stick around. As always, I am reading the chat. Nice to see you. We have Christelle here. We have Nate, RB, Adara, Penny. Nice to see you all. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and hop in. If you want to join me, you can follow along at the link down in the bio, the description down below me. There will be a bunch of source files that has a bunch of different layers here. So we're going to start in this file, and we are going to kind of build and build and build. So the first thing that we're going to do is super easy if you're new to Photoshop. We have a selection tool. And right now, I don't have enough for my image. And I want to make sure that I have enough kind of space for my image to fill this. So I need to actually extend out these corners. So what I'm going to do is grab our rectangular selection right here, and we're going to click and drag over these areas. We're going to use Generative Fill and then just click Generate. So using Generative Fill, it has some limitations on the sizing that it can generate and fill in for you. So doing it in pieces sometimes just has higher quality results. Oh, I don't know why it added that in. So as always, it gives you three different options. So you can go to your properties panel and scroll through and just see which one works the best for you. So that one's a lot better. Not sure what happened with the other one. And then we are going to fill in each of these pieces. So you can do it in different pieces, or you can just do it all together by holding Shift, and that will allow you to select all of the area that you need. So let's go ahead and use that. All three of those with our selection. We're going to use Generative Fill and then just generate. It's going to leave it blank and fill it in for us. And somebody says, AZ, hi, nice to see, AC, sorry. I'm brand new to Creative Cloud. Would I be able to replay the previous tutorials? Yes, absolutely. And even better than that, we're going to pause the tutorial for just a second because I want to show you, you can actually go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. And right here, you can see all of our challenges. So if you missed any of the ones in the past, you can always find them here. And we also have, I'm going to do a hard scroll, ready? All of these lessons available for you as well. So if you want to learn anything at all, let's say you want to learn more about masking, just use Control F to find and then type in masking. And right there, we have 13 lessons about masking. You can just sort through right there. So super easy for you to find all of that content. There's a lot of challenges and a lot of tutorials for you. Some of them are older, but they're there. All right, so we filled this in. Let's get to compositing now. We're going to turn on our mountains too, and here are some mountains for us. Now, I really like these mountains, so I'm going to use our selection tool. And right here, our selection tool is right in the corner. We're going to click, and then we can go to object selection tool. So we can use the quick selection tool or the object selection tool. An object selection tool is going to analyze the image and find all of the different pieces for us. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the right layer over here. And right now, it looks like it's just treating this all as one piece, right? One image. That's not what we want. It's having a hard time picking out the individual pieces. So what we can do is we can actually just click and drag around the area that we want to grab. And I just want these snow-capped mountains right now because I'm going to put those into that snow globe. So as we draw around that, it should find the edges for us. Those clouds are going to get a little bit wonky, but it did a pretty good job at finding those mountains. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit just using Z or the zoom tool. And we're going to grab, actually, let's grab this area. A little bit more. Come on. Grab a little bit more. So using the object selection tool, sometimes we are going to go in with our regular selection tool. But it looks like that's pretty good. I actually don't want any of this space. So we're going to take that out. And I think that that looks pretty good. I'm a little mad about this, but I can fix that right here by coming over, and we're going to do our quick selection tool and just hold Shift, and then we are going to select out that piece, right? So just clicking and dragging to make our selection. From there, with that area selected, we are going to come over to that layer, make sure we select it on the layer, and click on this little button right here. This is a layer mask. Clicking on a layer mask will mask that down, and there we go. You see we have these nice little mountains, and I'm going to shrink these down and put them into my snow globe. So I'm going to go ahead and just Control T, or you can go to Edit and Transform. So right here, Edit and then Transform, and we're going to go to, Edit Free Transform right there. And we're going to scale this down just a little bit, and I'm going to bring it up kind of to the middle of our snow globe. Now, it is going outside the bounds of our snow globe, but we don't really care about that right now. We're going to do a couple different effects to make this fit in here, but we're going to do them all at the end. So the second one, we have some more mountains. Look at these mountains. And this one, I think I want a little more of these mountains across the edge, right? So I'm just going to grab... I actually don't want the sky in this. I think I want everything else other than the sky. So what we can do is we can select this layer and go to Select Sky right there. Super easy. So compositing, I think for a lot of people is like really stressful and you don't know what to do and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. That's fine. We can just select the sky. We can select object, very, very easy, and then use those layer masks. So it selected the sky. I am going to expand this just a little bit by clicking on this brush. We are going to expand selection, and I'm just going to do it by like 3 pixels. And that's just going to make sure that we have the edges covered here. So with that, we are going to invert the selection right here using the contextual toolbar. It's going to grab all this other area for us, and then we are going to use, boom, that's right, another layer mask on it. All right, so we've got this nice, ooh, interesting. Okay, it kind of hazed out the sky. That's not what we want. So let's go ahead and try this one more time. And we are going to, again, use the object selection tool. And we're going to use it to just grab all of this except the sky and see if that gives us a little bit of a cleaner line. We can adjust the contrast and all that with the sky, but that's way easier. Okay. Ooh, and I actually, I do want the snow down here, I think. That'll be a nice kind of base of our design. All right, let's grab this. Come on, get that snow. There we go, snowed. All right, now we're gonna make our little mask. Now that's a lot better. We actually are gonna move this behind our other mountains and see when we scale this down, what we get. We can kind of create this like towering mountain scene. Well, let's move these other mountains back here. And then we can create this really big kind of towering mountain scene. I like that, not mad about it. And actually, I might put the snow kind of in the background. Okay, so with that, we now need to mask into our actual snow globe. So we do have a snow layer right here that I am going to shrink down. Again, Control or Command T is your hotkey for transform. Or you can go again, Edit, Free Transform right there. So we are going to free transform that and just scale it down just a little bit. We'll hit Enter, and now we're going to scale into the snow globe. So I'm going to click on these and turn off the visibility on all of those layers. And we are going to grab a elliptical marquee tool. And from here, we are going to kind of find the edges of this. So I'm going to find kind of the center of this and play around with getting a nice center. So right now I'm holding Alt and or Option and Shift, and that's going to make it kind of a symmetrical circle. And once we've made that, we can kind of click and drag just to make sure that we got into these little areas. And if we want to, we also can hold Shift and then add a little bit more into this area. So let's add just a little bit more to our mask. Oops. You know what? Hold on. What am I doing, chat? We can do this very, very, very easily. We are just going to use a brush. So we are going to select all the layers, which is the snow and the 2 mountains that we want to mask into the snow globe. We are going to make a group of those, hitting Control G or right clicking and going to Group. We're going to name this Inside. And from here, we're going to put a layer mask on this globe. Now this is going to be so easy because all we need to do is grab the brush tool, which is B right here. And the brush tool, I'm going to reset mine. Yours is probably set to a round brush, which is what we want. And so with the brush tool selected right here, we are just going to use the bracket keys. So the right bracket or the left bracket is going to allow us to scale up or down that brush. And all we need to do, this is going to be so easy, is we're going to drag our elements into this group. We're going to find a brush that is the right size, right? We're going to find a brush that is the correct size for our snow globe. So maybe just a little bit smaller. Let's see, it's 5, so maybe 550. Let's try this. 5, let's type in 550 here. Pretty close. This is probably not the best way to do it, but I'm excited. Whenever I get to mask into an actual circle, perfect. All right, so 575 is what we made for that, perfect for our brush. All we need to do is come in here and we're going to select our layer mask that we created. We are going to invert that mask, hitting Control I. And then we are going to make sure that our fill color is white, which means we're going to paint that back in. We're going to line up to our snow globe right here. And then we are just going to click with the white and it is going to mask that in. So easy, so easy. Now we got a little bit of extra here. And so we got a little bit of extra at the bottom. So we can go down here and we can unmask over this base. So there's a little bit too much of that base. So we're going to use our brush, which is just B. We are going to put black at the foreground and then just click in here and you can see that we can manually brush in or out those little pieces that we need. Oops. And a hotkey is you can just hit X, and hitting X is going to allow you to paint something back in. So we can kind of have it go right over this snow globe. All right, looks pretty good to me. I am not mad about that at all. So we've got this masked into our snow globe, but the color's not quite looking right. We need a little bit of reflection on the top here. And here's how I like to do this, is we're going to turn off this layer, and then we're going to use something called channels. I know it sounds scary, but don't be scared. It's not going to be scary, I promise. What we're going to do is we are going to go right here to channels, and then we are going to go into the channel that looks kind of the lightest. So right now it's blue. So what we're going to do is we are going to hold Control, which is going to select all of the blue. From there, we're going to come back to layers, and we're going to make a new layer right here. So just click plus to make a new layer. Drag that up outside the group. And now we're just going to start brushing in. So we have all of the light pieces selected. And now with a white brush, we can start brushing in a little bit of, that mask. Looks like we need to select the inverse. So let's select the inverse right here. And now we can start bringing back some of that glow on the snow globe. So see how we're getting just a little bit of that glow on the snow globe? And if we want to, we can hold Shift and use the bracket to soften up our brush a little bit and bring in just a little bit more of that glow on the snow globe. Not mad about it. Kind of fun. Okay, love it. All right, so we got a little bit of glow on the snow globe. I think that it's looking pretty good to me, but I want this to animate. Chat, why would we not animate this, right? Why would we not animate this? We want this to be gorgeous and animated. So we're going to do two things here. Is we are going to use Adobe Express to import our Photoshop file and then animate it. So we're going to do a couple different pieces here. Now, typically I would tell you not to do what I am about to do, but we are going to destroy our file. And we're going to destroy that file. Usually we want to work non-destructively, which is why we're using these masks and stuff. But I'm going to take it into Photoshop, or I'm going to take it into Express, and I want like clean layers on stuff. So let's go ahead and rebuild this and rework this just a little bit to have some nice clean layers for us to work with. So the first thing that I am going to do is this portion is the portion that's going to be animated. So what I want to do is I'm going to make just a copy of this whole document, and I'm going to do that. This is a tough one. Control Option Shift E. That's a hotkey. Control Option Shift E or Control Alt Shift E on PC. And it's just going to make a copy. It doesn't look any different because it's merged all of the things we've done into this one image. From there, we are going to control click on this mask to make a mask on our image. So we're going to go here, make a mask, And now if I turn all of these layers off, so I'm going to turn everything off that we've done so far, you'll see that we literally will just have the inside of that snow globe. That's not what we want, so we're going to Control I to invert this mask. There we go. This is what we want, right? So this is what we want. This is what looks good, but let's put a background color on here. But if we're animating this, we actually are going to have just, excuse me, chat. If we are animating this, there is like this area in the background, right, that doesn't look right. So what I want to do is I want to put back this layer, which is our layer that we kind of created the glow of the snow globe on. I'm going to bring this up here on top, and that's going to allow us to have that little glow regardless of what we're animating in the background. So that looks good. I'm going to turn off the background here, turn off that background there. And then we are going to go and play around with the inside of this snow globe. So we have the snow, which is great, a layer, and then we have all of our individual pieces. But with these pieces, I want to apply these layer masks. Express doesn't play well with masks. So we are going to apply layer mask and apply layer mask. And what that does is it's just going to lock these down so that now they're images and not anything else. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to delete these extra layers here just because we don't need them. Goodbye. So now we're thinking in layers. We do want to apply this layer mask, and then let's go ahead and bring these out of this group. So we did a lot of work here that we just deleted, but I want to show you how to do this in Express and bring it into Express. So we have our overlay, which is the snow globe with that hole punched out of it. And then inside we have the snow layer, we have the mountains, and oh no, it's up top. And then we have some more of our mountains. And then we have let's do this as the shine. All right, so we have all our layers here. Looks good. Let's go ahead and save this. So we're gonna go to File, Save As, and we're gonna do Snow Globe Animated. Just a Photoshop file and save it. Now, we can come over to Express, and we're going to go to express.adobe.com. And I know we're going fast. You can watch the replay and follow along with me. I do want to just show you all the things because it's really, really fun to go from Photoshop to Express. So from there, we're going to go to Start from Your Content, and we can go right here, Snow Globe Animated. We are going to hit Open and convert PSD to an Express file. Once we start converting this, it's going to take that Photoshop file, break apart all of our layers, and then take those layers into Express as separate layers that we can animate, that we can play around with, that we can add like a nice magical touch to. So looks like it's done. We're going to hit Open, and then right away, we're going to see all of our gorgeous layers. So check this out. Boom. We have all of our layers over here. We have a PSD, right? Straight into Express with all of our layers, as well as the transparency. So this is going to take like 5 seconds. And let's go ahead and do Animate All real quick just to show you. So we're going to go to Animate All, and we are going to do this as a sunrise. It's going to take just a second, and it's going to animate all of these layers into a gorgeous little rise. So look at that. If we wanted to change this, we could go in and change kind of the settings here, but we are going to animate these manually, so I'm going to remove all. Now, I don't want this snow per se. I actually want to have a little bit of a different snow. And I do want to have a background color. I actually realized that we knocked out the background. So we're going to click on background color, come to the eyedropper tool, and then just click on this nice little blue. There we go. Now we've got that real globe shape. So we are going to, I'm actually just going to delete this snow because I don't think I want it right now. So we're going to delete the snow because I want a video. I want this to like really animate. So we're going to go to media. And again, this is how you take your Photoshop files to a new level, animate them, add video. And we're going to do falling snow on black background. Now what we can do with the black background is we can change the blending mode so that it will actually, ooh, that's kind of magical. Chat, that's kind of magical. All right, so we're going to do this one that is like magical glow snowfall and see how that feels. There are some that are more actually, I think I like I think I like this one better. All right, so we have this here. We are going to select our snow, and then we're going to change the blending mode to screen. It's going to take away all that black area for us. And chat, you're saying, Andrew, how do I crop this into a circle? We don't need to, because we made our files in Photoshop with our layers. So we can just drag our layer all the way to the top. And now it's over that area, right? So we have our snow falling in. We do want our snow to be inside the globe. So we have snow, and then we have our mountain layers. So our mountain layers, I do want to animate these. So we are going to animate by going to animation. Oh, over here behind me. And then we are going to rise right there. And we are going to do this so that it does not fade. It is going to go up, and we're going to have it go soft. Great. Now our second layer we have right here, we're going to do the same thing, animate, rise. We are going to turn off our fade. And I think that that looks great. So we're going to pull this back just a little bit. Great. Now, it's animating a little bit too fast for me, so I am going to go down here to the right to edit timeline. And this is going to allow me to adjust the timing. So we can click on show layer timing, which is behind me right here. It's literally like the most behind me it could be, right there. And we are going to select our back layer here and just pull it over a little bit so that it will kind of start a little bit later. So now let's play this and see what happens. Oh, a little bit later. Okay, a little bit sooner. I want it maybe right here. All right, and it will lock to the playhead. It will actually jump to the playhead wherever you have it selected. Boom, and boom. Y'all, we made a really, really cute holiday. You know what? Chat, should we try to make it nighttime and then put like a star in the sky? So because we didn't set the background color, I can set the background color to a nice kind of dark purple blue. Ooh, right? We're getting to like, it's a little bit nighttime. I know that it's bright, but it's a little bit nighttime. And we actually can go in and select each of these mountains and use an adjustment. So we can bring the contrast up on that, bring the brightness down so it's getting a little bit darker, bring the highlights down. Maybe the shadows get darker. Maybe we make it a lot cooler right there. And we can do the same thing here. Again, just go to adjustments, and you can play around with these adjustments quite a bit to make it look a little more like a nighttime. Love it. And then we're gonna do a big, gorgeous star. So we're gonna do glowing, video, glowing star on black background. And we're going to put that, ooh, you know what? This one. And we're going to put that right in the sky up here. Pull it below all these layers, behind our mountains, all the way in the back. And now we have this gorgeous star shining in the background. And let's see what this looks like. Chat, I'm so excited for this. Ooh, right behind. All right, so in just a few minutes, we've worked from Photoshop into Adobe Express, and we had a nice layered Photoshop file that we masked together using masking and compositing. We took that into Adobe Express in just a few minutes, created this incredible, amazing animation. So let's see what this looks like. Oh no, hold on. We need to make this background just a little bit bigger. Actually, let's set the background color to a full black and see if that helps us. Yes, okay, blending seamlessly. All right, so in just a few minutes, we created this gorgeous scene. Ready? Ready, chat? Here we go. It's pretty magical. It's pretty magical. I'm not mad about it. We do have 1 minute left, so of course, I am going to add in some music. We are going to go to audio, and we are going to go to holiday. And we are going to go ahead and do Charming Christmas. Sure, chat, this might be loud, so prepare your ears. I'll turn the volume down. We're going to add in Christmas Day. Sure. Actually, let's do this one. Charming Christmas. We are going to come back here, and now we have sound that is coming through our animation. So a Photoshop file now has animation, composite, it has music, and it is ready to be a greeting card or a digital greeting. We could add text here as well very easily. Ready? Here we go. Chat. It's pretty cool. So thanks so much for joining me. I know this was a lot. Go ahead and watch the replay as well as subscribe to Adobe Live. There is great content coming to you all the time. And again, we're here every week with those weekly challenges. You can find more at behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, Illustrator, Express, or video, all of those. So video's coming up next with our friend Wade Acuff. He's gonna be tracking old Saint Nick. So stick around for that and learn how to build a custom Santa tracker. See you all in the new year, actually. No, I'll see you next week for the holiday week here on Adobe Live. Tune in. I'll see you there. Bye.